Scams, harassment, locals constantly shouting at you. That was my first impression of Fez. Within minutes, I was already being pressured, misled, and pulled into situations I never asked for. And honestly, it was overwhelming. But here's the strange part. Because behind all of that chaos lies one of the most historic and visually stunning cities in all of Morocco. So after all of the scams, stress, and harassment, is the beauty of Fez still there? Right now, I'm standing in the cultural and historical capital of Morocco, the city of Fez. And in this video, not only am I going to show you the old Medina, the old city of this town here, not only am I going to show you the streets, but we are also going to talk about the history of the place. We are going to talk about the intellectual giants that studied in this city. For example, you have Ibn Khaldun, Al-Idrisi. You have so many different people who actually studied in this city and contributed to the culture and the sciences of humanity. Right now, you can see that we are standing on the rooftop of my hostel. It is a pretty nice place. You can sit here, drink some tea, and during the evening, the view here is so nice. And as I told you, a lot of the old cities here in Morocco, they have walls surrounding around them. That is why they're called Medinas, because they were created to protect the inside of the city. This is not only in Morocco, but also in other countries. You find this in Montenegro and in general, a lot of different places in the world. So it's not a concept unique to Morocco. Yesterday, I just walked a little bit around the city during the nighttime, and let me tell you, it is chaotic. It is hectic. If you're coming to this city, you can just forget about Google Maps. It doesn't work in the old city of Fez. The streets are so incredibly narrow here that it's not even possible to use Google Maps, because Google Maps does not even know where the street ends and where a street begins. So what basically happened yesterday was I arrived at the city here in Fez and I walked a little bit around. I was searching for this exactly hostel or hotel, which is pretty nice, and the owners here are sweet people. It's called the Fez Hostel if you want to stay here. And I couldn't find the place. So one Moroccan guy, a young guy around my age or maybe younger than me, he followed me and he said, "Oh, your hotel," and he was a little bit pushy. And I know that these people, they usually want to take money for this service, but he didn't say how much he wanted in the beginning, and he said no hospitality and so on. So I just ignored him, and then I just tried to search for the hostel. But after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I couldn't find the hostel. So I went back to the same street as the guy actually was sitting. And then he said, you couldn't find your hostel, come with me. And of course, I needed to follow with him because I couldn't find the street by myself. So I went with him, and he was really nice and friendly and so on. But I tried to ask him in the beginning, how much do you want? And he just tried to push this question aside until we actually reached the hostel. Then we reached the hostel, and at this point he said 10 euros. And guys, I know 10 euros may not be a lot, but again, it's about the honesty. The hostel here, which I'm paying for, is not even 10 euros. It's less than 10 euros. So he wanted double the price of the hostel just for a 5-minute walk, which is crazy to think about. Anyways, I gave him 20 dirhams, which is around 2 euros, you could say, or around $2 approximately. And he took it and then he went away. So just to let you know, Morocco is not all about flowers and poppies as we explored in Rabat and Chefchaouen, and especially in the rural areas where we received so much hospitality from the Moroccan people. It is also true that there are scams in Morocco, so you have to be careful about this side of the country. It is almost 30 degrees Celsius today, so it is quite hot compared to Denmark. But it's okay. We're going to go with the flow. And you can see the sitting areas here are pretty cool. So let's go and explore the city for today. So this is the hostel entrance. And as you can see, the streets are extremely narrow here. Basically you have to walk this way, then take a right, walk a little bit further. And I don't even think that this road here or this narrow street is on Google Maps, which is why it's so difficult to find these places without a local. And as you can see, there are also cats in these small alleys. So I just arrived here into the main street of Fez, or one of the main alleys. So the flag here you can see is the flag of Morocco. But the other flag here is a flag for the Amazigh people, who are the native inhabitants of North Africa, i.e. the native inhabitants of Morocco, Algeria, parts of Libya, Tunisia, and also some areas of Mauritania, Mali, Niger, and so on. There are also various kind of local potteries and things you can buy here for your home inventories. Pretty nice. You can see the brother here just engraving some kind of Arabic words here. I think it's just historical things about the city. You can say that Islam first entered Morocco in 681 CE with the arrival of Uqba bin Nafi', who came all the way from the Hijaz region, which is nowadays Saudi Arabia. And then the Umayyads, they ruled Morocco for until around 750 CE, where the Abbasids then took over. The problem with the Abbasid control was basically that the capital of the region, or the control, and most of the power were close to Iraq in the city of Baghdad. But you can imagine that Morocco here is the most western point of the empire. So it was quite easy for the founder of modern day Morocco, known as Idris I, to break away and create his own state. So Idris I, he fled modern day Saudi Arabia and arrived here in the region of Morocco, Al-Maghreb, which it was known as at that time, but also today. And in 788, he created or started controlling the area of Walili, which is where we went yesterday, around the area of Mawlaya Idris Zarhoun. And in 789, they shifted this settlement, or the capital, from around Mawlaya Idris to the modern day city of Fez, where we are walking right now. Now we are walking to the University of Al-Qarawiyyin, which is the world's oldest university, founded by a woman. And here on the way you can see some of these traditional Moroccan hats that they are known for here, especially in Fez. You can go to any country you want to, and you're still going to find something about Coca-Cola. I think I've found Coca-Cola in all of the 50 plus countries I've traveled to until today's date. On the way here you can see a sign of the road. You have the Latin alphabet underneath here, then you have the Arabic, and in the middle you have the Berber language, or the Amazigh language, which looks completely different from the rest. While walking through the bazaar here, you notice that there are a lot of shops that sell leather things here, like bags, which are colored in red, also belts and stuff like this. And let me tell you guys that this city of Fez is known for the Chouara Tannery, which is an area or a traditional method where they dry leather into different colors. We're going to that place later, but right now we will focus on going to the university. On the way I just found this quite beautiful graffiti. Looks awesome. So the plan just changed. Instead of going directly to the university, I thought, why not stop and eat something before we go to the university? And I found this beautiful restaurant you can see here. And I ordered the couscous with the chicken, which was 70, good price. When you travel, you sometimes go to these random places you didn't even know exists. And right now I'm in one of those places, this restaurant. When I entered the room, I discovered that it is extremely cold compared to the outside. Outside it's maybe around 30 degrees today, but inside here it feels really, really comfortable and chilling in a nice way. One of the reasons is basically the thickness of the walls. As you can see, the wall here, it is extremely thick, which basically means that when the heat enters the house, it enters slowly. So the room or the house is cold during the day, and during the night it is therefore hotter, which makes sense when you live in a desert or in these kind of climates, because during the nighttime it's usually colder and during the daytime it is hot. A lot of Moroccan homes are created around a courtyard, which is basically this opening in the middle of the house, which creates some kind of microclimate and keeps the temperature quite chilling or cool during the daytime. I also ordered a traditional Moroccan mint tea, also known as the Atay bin Nana, which is extremely strong, so I highly recommend you, if you're like me, to add some sugar in it. I actually added 3 sugar cubes into the tea because it was so strong. The couscous just arrived, and as you can see, there are some carrots, different kinds of vegetable, the chicken, and of course the couscous itself here. So I just finished my food. It was really delicious, tasty, and it's now time to go to the University of Al-Qarawiyyin. So the bazaar here is extremely jam-packed with people, mostly local. So this is the mausoleum of Moulay Idris II, who is the one who expanded the city. We saw the mausoleum with his father a couple of days, or yesterday actually. This is the fountain here. In a lot of these places in Morocco, you can see they have fountains like these. And people, they are just relaxing in the shadow. Behind me, you can see the mausoleum of Moulay Idris II, who is basically the one who expanded the city of Fez. Some of you might wonder why it's only Muslims who are allowed to enter these kind of places in Morocco, or just in general in some Muslim countries. And the reason is usually that they don't want to make these places a tourist place where people just come to take pictures, with hundreds and thousands of people just standing in a line to take videos and pictures. So I think it is a pretty good idea just to keep some places for Muslims or locals, for people in general who just want to do the religiosity. It is, you can say, it is a little bit hypocritical that I still come here, because I am basically a tourist or a traveler, but it is what it is.
أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله.
So we're just right outside of the mausoleum of Idris II, and I'm just walking in the bazaar, as you can see. Here you can see one of the madrasas in Fez, and madrasa is basically an Islamic school where they read the Quran and study different kind of Islamic books. I don't think this is operational, but it is, at least it used to be in the past. So welcome to the University of Al-Qarawiyyin, which you can see here. This is the oldest university in the world, which is still operating till the day today. In the past, it used to be a hub for all different kinds of sciences, science, mathematics, geography, and also Islamic or spiritual studies. It was founded by Fatima al-Fihri in 859 AD, and it is still operating today, but it is more of a spiritual or religious place. And if we just speak a little bit about Fatima al-Fihri, she actually migrated from Tunisia all the way to Fez here in Morocco. And she spent her inheritance money from her father to build this university as a way of getting good deeds from God. So when she passes away, she will earn some good deeds, which is a part of the concept in Islam called As-Sadaqa Jariyah, which basically means charity that continues after your death.
حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح.
So I I just walked around 2 minutes from the university area right there to this place. The reason is they basically said to me that you cannot film with a camera inside of the university, but you can film with your phone. So I just filmed a little bit in the beginning until they told me to go or to use my phone instead of the camera. I don't know why they have this rule, but it doesn't matter at all. Anyways, if we go inside here, you can see that there's this kind of traditional Moroccan building. And what I was supposed to tell you inside of the university was some of the most known intellectual giants of the city of Fez. So first of all, you have Ibn Khaldun, who is the father of sociology. He studied Al-Qarawiyyin. Then you also have Al-Idrisi, who is basically the father of geography, who created one of the first atlases or one of the first maps in the world. And it is said that he also studied at the Fez University. Then you also have Musa ibn Maymun, who is one of the most important fathers of Judaism. He wrote a commentary on the Torah. And then you have the famous Abdul Karim al-Khattabi, who also studied here in one of the madrasas, or one of the religious schools in Fez. And if we talk a little bit about Abdul Karim al-Khattabi, he was one of the freedom fighters of Morocco. As I told you in one of the previous videos, Morocco was under colonialism or under Spanish protectorate in the north, French protectorate in the middle of the country, and fully a Spanish colony if you look at the disputed territory of Western Sahara. And if we talk a little bit about the freedom fight that he created, or he was the leader of, it was basically against the French. And he even had his own small republic of the Rif in the northern part of Morocco. So he fought against the French and the Spanish until they caught him and sent him into exile on the French city on La Réunion. The funny thing about today is I basically just planned two things. One, the University of Al-Qarawiyyin, and then I think the Chouara Tannery, or the Chouara place where they dyed the leather. And the rest is just me wandering around and searching a little bit when I find something random that I find interesting. This is way more fun, at least for me, instead of hiring a guide. Because if you hire a guide, they go with you kind of like a zoo, you could say, and show you different kind of animals. But when you walk alone, you get to experience everything firsthand, which is way more fun. Another thing about Morocco is that you have these traditional lamps which you can buy so many places. And they're so stunning. Only problem is I don't have enough luggage to any of these. I only have one little backpack. I just bought this local candy, and let's taste how it is. It basically tastes like cashew nuts with banana. So I just came from the souk here, or the bazaar, all the way out to this plaza area. So I think I'm just going to take a little rest, 10-15 minutes, eat this snack, and just enjoy the views here in Morocco. I just sat here for the last 15 minutes, finished the snack. I also drank some water. So now I'm ready to go to the next place. But before that, let me show you the bridge here. There's a bridge connecting into the old town. I think somebody might live there, or it might be a part of the university or the mosque, which you can see there. And then you have the river flowing through. To be honest, the smell here is actually disgusting. But it's now time to go to our next destination, which is the Chouara. Here you have another bridge. Actually, you have two. Let me show you the other one from this side. The funny thing about tourist destinations like Fez, probably also Casablanca and Marrakesh, is all the tourists, they are in the same area. They follow the same guides. If you just go a little bit away from the main area, or a little bit away from the tour guides, then you're alone. Look, nobody here. No tourists. I'm the only one. It's so interesting. They just, not to be offensive or anything, but it's kind of like they walk as cattle and then they disappear. And then you never see the tourists again, at least in Morocco, as I've noticed so far. Okay guys, I just walked into some random alley and look what I found. Look at this. This is some kind of adventure now. السلام ورحمة الله.
C'est permis.
ما في طريق. عفوا. آسف. Okay, this was basically some people's homes. I thought this was a walk to. I thought this was a walk to another place of the Chouara, but it wasn't. As I told you before in the introduction to this video, a part of the channel is honesty, to show the reality of the places. And unfortunately, a part of the reality here is the trash. As you can see, this is just next to the historical sites, and there is so much trash in the river. I hope that the people will stop throwing trash here or just maintain the places a little bit more. But otherwise, the country is still extremely beautiful. But it is my job as a vlogger to show you the reality and not only the good places. I don't think this is a river anymore. I think it's just a channel they have created. I'm not sure. This is awesome, guys. When you don't plan too much, then you get to experience these kind of things for the first hand. Instead of, having this ultra detailed plan or just going from place to place to place. It makes things boring because you have planned too much. I only planned Al-Qarawiyyin University and the Chouara. All the rest you have seen in this vlog is just me walking randomly around, finding places. And when I didn't vlog, I would read a little bit about the different places just so I could explain a little bit to you guys. Also, I think they're starting to construct here something. Right now it's trash, obviously, but there is enough space here to create another house. Which is interesting because I haven't seen this kind of empty place or space before in the old city of Fez. Finally, after walking a little bit, we can see we are at the Rue Chouara, which means the road of the Chouara. So when you walk down this alley, you're going to meet a lot of people that want you to go onto their terrace, where you can take some pictures and so on. I don't really mind that. It is also good that they do their business, but I just want to find like the public spot before I go to a terrace, because it's fun to go to the public spots instead of just going to a touristy spot. This you can see here is the entrance to the Chouara. So we just arrived at one of the Chouaras, as you can see behind me here. This is a method where they dye. Alhamdulillah, Jayed, thank you. So this is a method where they dye leather into different colors using natural sources. For example, if you want to color something into blue, then you use indigo. If you want to color something into yellow, then you use saffron traditionally. So this is how they've been working for more than 1,000 years. And there are different terraces you can go up, like you can see here. You can get the views from different angles. But first we will go and walk around the streets here and see if we can find different angles of the workers here. So I'm walking here at the Chouara area where people do work, and I'm not sure. We just show some of the different colors. I think this is the color yellow they're trying to dye some leathering. I think this is maybe saffron. Yes, you can see there's this big machinery.
One minute.
And this is the area.
قبله.
هنا تمام. إلى هنا. And obviously, if you want to come here, you have to pay. I paid them 100 dinar, which is because this is where the workers they work. I don't just want to go to the terrace and take some pictures. It's way fun to walk in the middle of these streets here, as you can see. And you have all the different colors. You have red. Yes, can you take a picture? So let's walk back. I paid 100 dirham, which is around, let's say, I'll write it on the screen. But anyways, it was pretty fun experience. Assalamu alaikum. And let's walk back to the place. So, to be honest, I'm wondering in my mind right now that is the fee here real or was it a scam? Anyways, I think to be honest that the fee is real, but it is very flexible what you're gonna pay. He didn't tell me any specific amount, and the smallest note I had only was 100. Otherwise I would have given 50. But it's okay. Let's just walk. The plan now is somehow to get back to the hostel. And as you know, I don't know where I am. I don't know how I'm going to get back to the hostel because this city is so difficult to navigate in. But it is going to be okay. Assalamu alaikum. La shukran. Thank you so much, marhaban. Nice to meet you. Look how awesome that guy was. He just asked me, eat with me. But I just ate a little bit ago, so I don't need to. I'm now on the way back to my hostel, and as you can see, it's around 25 minutes from here. This is not the address of the hostel, but just a restaurant close to it, which is on Google Maps. So guys, I just arrived back to my hostel here, and I bought some cherries on the way to eat. These are extremely sweet and delicious. But let me now have a serious talk with you and give you my honest opinion about this city. This city is difficult to travel to be honest. Of course, I've met a lot of incredible people in Morocco, also in this city. Even the hosts of this hostel, they are so nice, sweet, and good people. But each time I stop filming while walking down the streets in the city, somebody is approaching me every 50 meters. Hey, come here, buy this. And it's as they don't understand that I'm saying no. You say no, they're like, no, come. And they keep like following you a little bit and so on. Then when you take the camera up, they all run away. So I'm also extremely sweaty right now because of the heat. But it is a difficult city to travel to. Even the Chouara area, I didn't even want to film so much there. Because how can I explain this? I didn't enjoy filming when I know that I'm being scammed in the end of the day. And yeah, I know 100 dinar or dirham is not so much in the end of the day. It is only around 10 euros or $10. But that's not the point. The point is you don't like being scammed. I don't like being treated as a, foreigner, I guess. Especially when I know that most of the Moroccan people, they are amazing, good people. I went to Rabat, amazing people. Chefchaouen, good people. Then I went to rural Morocco, especially Moulaya Idris Zarhoun, the best people I've met in Morocco. But Fez is definitely a big tourist trap, to be honest. It is designed for tourists. It is so incredibly difficult to navigate the city. So you almost have to find somebody who is going to scam you, unless you know some locals. The plan now was to take a bus to Marrakesh, but Marrakesh is 10 times fast when it comes to scams, when it comes to overpricing, when it comes to rudeness of the locals. So I just have to sit a little bit, read, and then I will consider if I'm going to Marrakesh today or if I'm going to somewhere else. When you travel, guys, you do get overwhelmed from time to time, and it is okay. This is why I just stayed at the hostel for around 1 hour just to relax a little bit. And I've decided that we're going to Marrakesh to see the city and to stay in the city today or tonight. I don't know if we are going to go there by the train or by a shared taxi. We will figure it out. This is the exit of the old town, which is the gate into the city. So right in front of this gate you can find different taxis going to local destinations here in the city of Fez. And let me tell you another interesting fact about the taxis here in Morocco. There are different colors depending on the cities. I think in Rabat the colors of the taxis were black. Here in this city they're red. In other places the taxis were blue. So it depends a lot on where you are. I just took one of the red taxis here to the local bus station. Morocco, Al-Maghrib, to the train station here in Fez. And let me tell you something, guys. The taxi chauffeur, he was so awesome. He said to me 15 dirhams. And when we arrived, he told me 10 dirhams. It's okay, no problem. But because I complained to him a little bit about how rude the locals were here and a little bit pushy and so on, but I still gave him, of course, 15 because it's not about the money, it's more about the honesty. Honesty is important. Anyways, we'll go inside of the train station here and see if we can get a ticket to Marrakesh today. And let me tell you guys also that the architecture here in Morocco is so beautiful. Look at the patterns on this building of the train station. It is just incredible. Look at the watch, or the watch they have in the middle. So there's a little bit of a line, but it's not too much. So basically the next train is 9 o'clock in the evening and it will arrive in Marrakesh 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to see if I can get a shared taxi instead of waiting almost 6 hours. And this is the inside of the train station. Extremely beautiful, as you can see. They have the wooden patterns here, traditional Moroccan styles, and also on the pillars. Alright guys, what basically happened was I went to the minivan station to try to get a shared taxi. No options there, no buses available. So now I'm trying to take one of these local buses. I'm sitting at the bus stand back to the train station to see if a ticket for the train to Marrakesh is still available for 9 p.m. tonight. I'm back here at the railway station and I just have to say one word: language barrier, guys. As you saw in the previous clips, I actually went here at the first time and the lady told me that the only available train is 9 p.m. But that was not true. That is if I wanted the first class. And obviously I'm just going to take the second class because it's cheapest. And this is the ticket you can see here too, from Fez to Marrakesh. I'm going to arrive around midnight. And some of you might think, why in the world would he go all the way around to different places? First from the taxi stand to the other place, to the third place and so on, instead of just buying a ticket the day before and plan a little bit better. And the answer for that, guys, is I think personally for me, planning too much kills the trip. If I can do a trip without planning too much, and even if it costs me a little bit more, I'm gonna choose that. Instead of doing a trip which is completely planned, it's not too enjoyable. Except if it's a really expensive destination like the USA, then I'm gonna plan it to a T to save it. Because if you don't plan good enough to some countries like the US, then you're going to pay 4 times the price or 5 times the price. I think I'm gonna stop the video here at this place and I'll actually start the next video from exactly this point here, the Marrakesh video. I hope you learned a little bit about Fez. It was an overwhelming day, but that is what can happen when you travel the world. See you next time.